It's that time, folks. It's time for your board game dessert. It's time for a game pie. Of course, game pie is when Mandy and I serve up a selection of games based on our whims and our excellent taste because we hate ranking things, but we always love a tasty, tasty baked treat, hence game pie. And the game pie of today is full of our favorite games from the publisher Pegasus Spiele. So, Mandy, Pegasus has been around for decades, a classic German publisher that,
Yeah, a long
you
time.
know, board games were huge in Europe in a way that they just weren't in America or even Canada, I
Yeah.
would assume, for a long time. So you find publishers like Pegasus Spiele that have been around for decades, and when you look at their catalog, it's really interesting to see how it's evolved over time and things like that, and how many games that they've produced that are still favorites of ours today.
Hmm.
So, thought it would be fun to take a look at Pegasus Spiele. Plus, they often do more quote unquote Euro style games, which I know
Yeah,
appeal to both of us a lot.
absolutely.
So, Mandy, would you like to do the honors and serve up our first slice of Pegasus pie?
Yes, it took everything in my power not to put. There's a game that I would have put on here, but I feel like I put it on a list all the time. So I was like, no, I will not put it on. So the first one on my Pegasus Spiele game pie is Skymines. Now, Skymines was previously known as, I think it's Mombasa, was like, I think they did like a retheming, which I'm happy about. Let's just go with that. But I did enjoy the game Skymines. So this is an Alexander Pfister game. I think also in conjunction with Victor Kolbilki. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, but everyone knows that I'm a big fan of Alexander Pfister games. And this is one, I know what you're all going to say. It has like a space vibe. Listen, okay? The theme is irrelevant at this point because the game is good. I know I'm going to get hit for that, but just saying. But it is one of those ones where it does have a slight economic kind of element. I never thought I'd like programming as much as I do in this game, but I like it because I'm not a huge programming of cards, but there are a lot of Pfister games where he uses a programming element. It's light, so I don't mind it. It's when it's like the focus of the game and then I get a little stressed. But you're working with, companies. You have different companies and you're trying to manage those tracks. And obviously you want to be the most profitable company. So this is the game where game card programming is acceptable and I enjoy it. So Skymines for me, very happy for the retheme, is on my list. I really like this one.
Cool. Yeah, I'm glad for the retheme as well, and I enjoy
Mm.
Skymines. First up for me is Mandy. It is a Spiel des Jahres nominee this year.
Ah,
Brand
yes.
new. Bomb Busters. So, for those of you who follow the hobby, Spiel des Jahres is the German Games Awards. It's one of the biggest awards you can get in the industry, and Bomb Busters is on Game of the Year as a nominee, up against two other games that are very different. It's
Mhm.
interesting to see Bomb Busters in this category. I personally would love to see Bomb Busters win because it's an excellent, excellent cooperative deduction game in which you're all and it's got great art, a really stylistic art where you're trying to work together to defuse a bomb. You've got a little rack of number tiles, and you're figuring out who has various numbers based on what you know about yours, and some discussion that happens around the table as you're flipping down tiles and guessing and looking at the order, unlocking special abilities, and as you get things wrong, your meter's ticking down. It also has an element where it gets more complex as you go, which is cool, and you unlock other things as you go because when you open the box there's the basic stuff, but then there's little tuck boxes full of goodies that you can discover as you go along. It's a great deduction game, and it's a game with a ton of charm as well. So Bomb Busters is my first Pegasus Spiel slice.
This was a good one. Actually, I can thank Eric Lang for showing this to me. He's like, it's so good. You have to play it. And he was indeed right. It was quite fun. So thanks for that. Next on my list, this actually was, I used to do a segment many moons ago called Lunchtime Gaming. For those who are
It's
familiar with it,
lunchtime.
It's lunchtime. You know, people had asked me to bring that back. I'm like, oh, I thought you'd be sick of it by now. This was a game that we featured on there. Actually, it was one of our earlier games, and I owned the German version, Mal Pflaumen, which is plums. And this is a game that I think has been done a couple of times, and it's a trick-taking game. Heyo. And I like this game because it had that whole pi element, like the 3.14. So you could like literally lose a trick by 0.14 because someone had that darn card. I liked the fruit theming on it. I think now since it's since changed, right? Suzanne, I think slightly. Is it still fruit? I'm trying to remember.
Uh, it switched to
Pies,
so I believe
pies,
that, like, All Play picked it up, right? And now it's, like,
pies,
actually pies. It's called
pies. Thank
Pies,
you. I was
Pies, and
like,
it's actually
it was coming
pastry
to me. It
themed.
took a minute. So yeah, so it's still like a food
Perfect.
theme. Perfect for you. And it's really
Perfect
nice.
for
But
us.
I like the kind of styling as well as the original one that I have. So there you go. My second slice of Pegasus Spiele pie is Pi mal Pflaumen or plums.
Great choice. Definitely, I have a lot of favorites, from this publisher, and, looking back through the catalog, and if I was a little distracted, Mandy, apologies because I was looking at my next game and just double checking
Oh, yeah.
something, but if you're not really familiar with Pegasus Spiele, you wanna look back to the years like 2010 to
Yeah.
2015 and just look at what they were putting out in that era. Just really great game after really great game. And they publish a wide range of games from little card games to more heavy euros and things like that.
Right.
And one game, the next slice on my pie is OctoDice. Now,
Mm,
OctoDice I love for a few reasons. One, it's a roll and write.
of
Two,
course.
it's a solid roll and write. Three, it's one of the few roll and writes in that era that was more than like a Yahtzee emulator. It really
Yep.
was, hey, let's get some actions. It was really taking, so OctoDice is actually the roll and write sibling of Aquasphere, which is a very heavy
Right.
Stefan Feld Euro style game. And then they twisted it all around and gave you Octodice. So thematically, they're tightly tied together. Mechanically, not so much. And it was also in that era. Nowadays, in the year of our Lord 2025, you got a ton of roll and writes with a wide variety of complexity and depth, right?
Yeah.
But back when this came out a decade ago, it was quite unique in terms of being kind of a micro Euro experience using the roll and write mechanisms. And I really
Hmm.
respected that. You can play it solo up to four. I actually played this a ton solo. It was a game that hit for me at the right time with the right weight and all this other stuff. It's a delightful little earlier example of a Euro style roll and write, a light Euro style roll and write. So Octo Dice from Pegasus Spiele.
Yeah, good choice. I like that one. Next on my list is one I know Ashley, if Ashley is listening, that we both enjoyed, but I know a lot of people felt a weird way about it, and that is the Undo series. And we really enjoyed these because it was almost like backwards. Do you know what I mean? When you're working with like an exit game, you're kind of moving forward, and this one is like they kind of give you a lot of the information up front, and you have to kind of go back and kind of figure out how you got to that point. I like that, and maybe that's because my brain's a little weird and it works really well, but Ashley and I were like, "This is so good," and we were into it. There was some historical elements. "Yeah, yeah, yeah, I know this," and just made us feel, like, super smart. I mean, we're smart already, but just made us super smart feeling. But I just liked the way they laid it out, and I know this was, a little divisive with some people. Some people were like, "Yeah, I prefer more exit kind of way of doing it. I'm not really into the layout of how this is done," but I really enjoyed it. So yeah, so if you're unsure, you wanna try something a little different, but you're still getting a solving a mystery vibe, I check out the Undo series, I really like them.
I I'm with you. All right, next up for me is a game by Michael Schacht, who is a classic, amazing designer. His catalog is huge, and I love him as a designer overall. And this is one of my favorites. And unfortunately, it's pretty out of print as far as I know. And GOG, I actually would love to see
Oh.
this one come back. Hello, out there, publishers. Mondo. Mondo is a tile laying game with a real tile element, kind of like Galaxy Trucker, and
Hmm,
you're just building out your little ecosphere, and again, this thematically today we have tons of parks and birds and animals and themes like that. But again, over a decade ago, it just wasn't as common of a setting for a game, which made it stand out even more back then. So
Right.
Mondo, you're laying your terrain tiles and creating habitats and things like that. It's a really good game that holds up well over a decade later. Unfortunately, you might have a hard time finding it if you want to check it out. But if you're at a game convention and they have it or something like that, give it a whirl because it's a lot of fun. That's Mondo.
I haven't played Mondo, but you said real time, and I kind of went, "Ugh."
Yeah. It's like Galaxy Trucker where you're pulling tiles and trying to fit them into your board. So yeah,
Definitely an audience for some people, just not this one.
fair enough.
But a good choice for lots of people. Well, my last slice of pie is a game I think it's been around for a little while, and that's Port. Is it Port Royal? I say Royale, but there's no E at the end of it, so it is Port Royal technically. Um,
Is that the English edition? Like, what is it in Germany? Does it end with an E in German? Or is it no, it's just
uh,
Port Royal. It's just
no,
Port
it's
Royal,
Port
yeah.
Royal, and I think I always say Port Royale, but it's not because it would have an E at the end of it if it was pronounced. It
Yeah.
was supposed to be pronounced that way. If we're gonna get
Get it
technical.
right, Mandy.
I know, right? I've been studying doing my French, so I'm like, I want to, do all the things in French. But Port Royal has been around for a long time, and it's designed well. Another Alexander Pfister game. Look at that, and it's a card game, and it is one that has that kind of nautical theme to it. And you're using cards, and you're trying to. The cards can be used as like currency, like there are currency values on the cards, but you're also trying to complete objectives based on the type of cards you get. And I know they have different types of actions based on what you see on the cards. Like there are people, ships, expeditions, potentially increasing taxes, which can be very bad for players. I mean, much like in real life, not so good. So, yeah, we're going to leave that there. But Influence Points is the name of the game, but this is a game that's been around for a while. A lot of people speak highly of it, and I know it's always one that's well rated. I actually have the big box, and I've played this solo. Yes, that's right. I played it solo. Now, I kind of poo-pooed a rule when I did the stream, but I figured it out after, because I think I might have cheated. But it's fun, and I do play it. So Port Royal for me is one that if you haven't tried, you should.
So Port Royale was on my short list, and I saw that you had put it on your list, so I yanked it, and I'm glad that you included that one.
Yay!
And to wrap up this Pegasus Spiel focused pie, they actually they have such a good catalog, especially in
Yeah.
that 2010 to 2015 era. Just so much goodness. But I had to go with Istanbul.
Good
Istanbul,
choice.
one of my all-time favorite games. It is so clever in the way that you have tiles. You're trying to get rubies to win or end the game. And you've got workers that are discs. And as you move around the board, you're dropping off your assistants to lay claim to different actions. But then you got to go back and collect all those
Right.
assistants. It's a great mechanism. It works fabulously in Istanbul. And Istanbul is along the lines of also another line of games called Yokohama.
Mm-hmm.
They have sibling games. So there is Istanbul the dice game, and then
Mm-hmm.
there's Istanbul the choose and right game.
I have them all.
And I also have them all because all of them are
Strong.
great for what they are. Similarly to Yokohama, there's Yokohama, Yokohama Duel, and Yokohama the roll and write game. All of them are great. So Istanbul, the core Euro style game, it is a phenomenal medium to heavier weight Euro style
Mhm.
game with some clever mechanisms, and it is one of my all-time favorites. So of course it had to be my last slice of favorite games from Pegasus Spiele. Game pie.
Strong ending. Very good choices.
Ta-da! Of course, there are lots more Pegasus Spiele games that we could have listed and didn't. And oh my goodness, I mean, I'm not gonna cheat and throw them all
There
out
were a
here.
lot of good ones.
Yes, but y'all can chime in with your favorites, just like you did last episode. I've been in that thread on our Board Game Geek
Mhm.
Guild. It's lovely to see everybody chiming in with their favorites from, I think it was 2010 was last episode's
Yeah,
Game Pie.
some good ones.
Lots of opinions there. Love it. That is on BoardGameGeek.com, guild number 4131. Or if you prefer to privately chat us up, you're always welcome to email us at saltandsassgames@gmail.com or hit us up on social media.
Yeah, we're on the socials. I do check the comments. So thank you, everybody, for putting some great comments under our videos. So you could be watching a lot of our videos on our socials. So you can find us on YouTube and Twitch at Salt and Sass Games. We are also on Blue Sky. We thought it'd be a little more professional there and just go with Salt and Sass. So you can find us at Salt and Sass on a Blue Sky. For me, it's pretty slim these days. I'm on Instagram and Blue Sky for the most part, so you can find me there at 613 Mandy. That's Mandy with an I. How about you, Suzanne?
And you can find me on Blue Sky. I'm at 425 Suzanne. Take care of yourselves and your loved ones. Stay hydrated and play a lot of games. We'll see you then.
Bye, everybody.